Just getting prepared as we do for most games, knowing what kind of threats they're going to bring to us. Just tweaking a couple of things defensively, not personnel wise, but just kind of how we do things. And then just generally working on what we're going to be able to, how we're going to be able to get out there and win the game. Well, I think if you look at that game at the start of the season, the number of players that we were missing, and the fact that we virtually had, zero. I know other teams had zero pre-season, but we had zero pre-seasons with a key number of players. So we weren't kind of really up and running at that stage. However, the game this weekend will be equally as difficult as it was at the start of the season. Yeah, I mean, it just shows that we were right when we brought her here, that she was a first choice goalkeeper in this league. And I hope she has an off day on Saturday, but it's terrific to see her be so successful, because she was fantastic for us every day at training and whenever she was called upon to play. So it's great to see those players develop, get an opportunity and seize that opportunity. Well, it's not so much the shot and goal, it's also selection. We're in a situation where we have 5 or 6 strikers who all score goals and who are all in good form. So that's the first thing. Whoever scores the goals doesn't really matter. What's the key thing is that we need to make the right decisions when we get into the final third, and whether that's to pass or to shoot or whatever, that we do that. So regardless of who's on the field. And I think if you look over the past probably 5 or 6 games, we've had goals from all over our front line and midfield as well. It's no different than any other it's no different than any other situation in the sense that you want players to make good decisions. Now, if Chi buries that in the back of the net, it's a good decision. If she passes it to Alex and Alex the linesman happened to put the flag up and give Alex offside, then we don't score from there. If she slips it to Alex and Alex is onside, it's a tap-in. So those are all the things that happen in football, and our game is about a lot of little decisions and trying to get as many right as possible, and you just keep plugging away at that. So what we try to do as coaches is give players as much information as we can, work out as many scenarios as we can, so that in certain situations hopefully the players make the right decision. Yeah, and I think we found that out last weekend, and I think it sums up this league, is that there are no easy games. I watched Washington's last game against Seattle, and they drew 0-0, and the second half had 3 or 4 fantastic chances. So that whether you're playing North Carolina at the top or Sky Blue at the bottom, every game is equally as difficult in this league. Well, we're in a much healthier situation than we were at this time last year, and that's a positive. We've got everybody fit and healthy, and that's a positive. I think what we're seeing more this season is a little bit, 3 years in, we're a bit more continuity to the team, and that's helped us results-wise. I think what I've seen more about the team this year is that the fact that we've been able to get results, good results, when we haven't actually played as well as we probably could play. So that's a positive, because I think now, we're hopefully getting to that stage where we're beginning to really gel as a team. And if we can get that right, then it'll make us quite formidable. Yeah, it's been good so far. I don't know how the Aussies finished today. The World Cup's actually been very refreshing this year. I thought, I didn't go into with high hopes, because to be honest, I felt the last 2 World Cups were a little bit bland, whereas the games so far have all been really competitive. And even if a team like Iceland that's set up to defend against Argentina in that last 30 minutes, backs against the wall, it's made for really exciting soccer, and I think the games have been terrific so far. I picked Germany in the sweep, but being British, you don't mind if the Germans lose. So, so I picked them. But I think, from what I've seen, you can't always tell early in a tournament, so you've got to be really careful. But I think there's going to be quite a few teams that are really competitive in this World Cup. That's a really good question. It is trying to get that delicate balance right, and particularly for a team like us who puts a big emphasis on attacking and scoring goals. So, and it's a fine line between doing that and keeping things really tight at the back, and that's a constant challenge for us. That's what we're working on out here this morning, and sometimes we just need to be just a little bit more cautious. And a lot of that's down to me, because how I like to play the game obviously flows on to the players and how we like to play, and that leaves us open, and it leaves us open particularly in transition and to counter-attacks. So teams do their homework and they go out and they set up against us to do that. So we need to make sure, one of the key points we talk about is defending when we're actually attacking, and that's something that we need to get back on and refocus on. Well, it's about all of us getting back behind the ball. So that, it's all simply when you come to an issue or a problem or something that you're trying to rectify, you go back to the principles of the game. So you go back to the defensive principles, whatever those, I won't go into the details of those obviously because you get bored, but it's getting there. So essentially it's about us working together as a unit. So when you're coughing up goals, it's not down to the defence, it's down to the team as a whole. So it's looking at the approach defensively of everybody doing the job, and I think the key aspect is us doing that quickly. So we're setting positions quickly, and then that can help, and that makes us a little bit more stable.